Everything LeBron does is carefully thought out, right? And what's interesting,
I would assume so. I mean, most professional athletes at his level that's high like that, both on and off the court, think deeply about what it is that they're doing.
So it's interesting. I'm on with Wendy yesterday on This Just In, and I asked him, because it seems to me there's two things being said. One, he's emotional, he's drained, he's asked a question, he answers it. A lot of athletes do that in that moment. They're not sure about the future. The other is LeBron knows what he's doing. He's controlling the narrative, right? Those two things are incompatible. Either you know what you're doing and you're premeditated, or you're exhausted and you're speaking out of emotion.
I love when people always say, LeBron James knows what he's doing. He's controlling the narrative. I'm like, okay, so if he didn't say nothing, you would still say he's controlling the narrative.
But it is incompatible, though, Key. It can't be that he was both tired and emotionally drained and speaking just off the cuff and not sure about the future, and he had a plan. It can't be both. It could be one or the other.
He doesn't have a plan.
So you think it was emotional exhaustion and all that stuff?
I think it's emotional exhaustion on top of these are the thoughts that's going through his mind. There's no plan, because if there was a plan, he would simply say, I'm coming back to play my 21st season, or I'm going to retire in a couple weeks. Well, that would be a plan. This is not a plan by just saying, I got to think through it.
Let me give you some evidence to the contrary, okay? Because I asked Wendy, hey, would it be fair, or would it just be this kind of media BS stuff that gets done, right? For me to ask, hey, is LeBron doing that thing where he's making it about himself after losing a series, taking the attention off the Nuggets, putting it on himself? Or is that really just not fair? And Wendy was, careful about the way he answered it. But he did say that there were, like, he's being fair to LeBron and everything, but he did say that the question asked at the press conference had nothing to do with about his future, whether he was going to retire or not. LeBron, it seemed, had that message to get out and responded to a different question as though they asked him to what do you think about the future, or so he wanted to get it out.
But could it be?
And then he messaged, and then he told Dave McMenamin, he's not doing that by accident, giving him some piece of information like that.
He interpreted that question as a question to ask him whether or not he was coming back to retire. Everybody interprets questions differently, Max. Just because Wendy may have thought, or the individual who presented the question may have said, well, that's not really what I was looking for, or Wendy may have heard it that way and said, well, that's not really the question that was posed to LeBron. Maybe LeBron James heard it as such, so he delivered that message. I guess I'm an athlete who's been questioned many times after post games and during games by reporters and stuff like that. And sometimes you hear a question thinking that is the answer that they're looking for, and you give them an answer, but it's not really the answer that fits the question, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. But in LeBron's case, or if it's LeBron or Tom Brady or someone, who has the ability to kind of capture the attention of the sports world with their plans for the future, I think they are, like, put it this way, I didn't know what the answer was yesterday. From what I've heard since then, I was open to the idea that he was just emotionally drained and said what he said because he was asked a question. From what I now understand, if what I understand is true, now I think he did it intentionally and he has some plan.
See, I don't believe that.
Okay,
I don't believe that for one bit, that he intentionally walked up there and said, I'm going to tell him I'm thinking about retiring, so now I can bring the light on me, take it off the Nuggets, and, I don't believe that. I just don't believe it.
Okay, so and I didn't know what to believe. Now I'm leaning in that direction based on what I've gathered. So LeBron said something interesting yesterday. He said he's still better than 90 or 95% of the league. And I think he's better than that. Key, we were talking about it off, during the commercial break. You don't think he was being that precise with the percentages, right?
No,
he's just saying
he's
most
not
players.
There. No, if you ask me, you say, I can tell you right now, man, I'm 50. I'm better than 75% of the receivers in the league. That's
not an exact number. Yeah.
That's not an exact number.
But so I think he's better than 95. I think 95 is too low a number. He's probably better than 98% of the players in the league. But the thing about that was interesting to me is that's the first public utterance I've heard from LeBron, unless I've missed something, that acknowledges that he's not only no longer the best basketball player in the world, but that he's not the second or third best either, right? When you say 90 to 95%, you're saying, man, there's a little layer that is better than me.
Well, and that's okay. He's 38 damn years old, man.
Gee, it's incredible that he's still that good.
No, I'm saying
it's
okay. I'm saying it's okay for him to say that. He's 38 years old. He's not oblivious to the fact that Giannis is probably better than him. Steph Curry is probably better than him. The Joker is probably better than him. He's not KD's probably better than him. He's not talking about 10 years ago. He's talking about real time in today.
100%. But what I'm saying is it's just these moments in time are interesting to me when there's an acknowledgement for the first time by somebody, hey, this is where I am now. Because we're trying to hit a moving target when we gauge where everyone is. And I've never heard him say something that would lead me to believe he's now publicly acknowledging, man, there are players better than I am. So
I love this world.
So that brings, but if you think I'm knocking him, you're out of your mind. The dude's in season 20. He's still one of the best players in basketball.
A bit dog will bark. I never said you were knocking him. Not one bit. Yeah. All I said was the world is really interesting because the guy acknowledges that other guys are slightly better than him.
Yeah.
Now we get ready to run with it and turn it into something that's just crazy to me. That's why, you know how I am, Max. I'm not about to just read into something just because he says that. What he's acknowledging is that I need some help.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's what he's acknowledging is that, okay, I can't do what I did 15 years ago by myself, so I need to figure out where I'm going to get a little bit of help from.
We're on the same page.
That's what he's
saying. He's saying, look, I'm still really good. I can still help a team, go a long way to helping a team win a championship, but I need more than I used to need. I totally agree that is the message. So what is the plan for the Lakers going forward? It's a good question. Here's what Rob Pelinka, Lakers GM, had to say about it.
Want to respect LeBron's time and space to process what he needs to process, but LeBron and AD as two pillars is, to us an unmatched combination that we'll continue to lean into and build around, and we're proud of that combination of superstars and want to continue to, invest in that and invest in advancing the growth we had this year into next season.
So you can take that right there. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to, I could package that up, spin it a little bit, put a little sauce on top. Mm-hmm. And what he's saying is Anthony Davis isn't going anywhere. He's a pillar of what we want to do in this organization. And if LeBron James decides to come back, these are the two guys who's going to lead us to the promised land. And then we're going to find some other pieces and put them around them. I could package it up, and it goes out on the wire, and there you go.
But you don't have to package it up. That's exactly what I heard, Key. I think that was the message, 100%. And now the question for Lakers fans is building on that, does that mean retaining what you have, and let's be explicit, Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, and adding another couple of pieces so the Lakers have more functional starters in the rotation at a championship level, right? Or does it mean adding a third leg to the tripod, right? Not just LeBron and AD, but LeBron, AD, and Kyrie. So that's the question, Lakers fans. Would you rather keep what you have and add a Van Vliet if that's possible? Or would you rather, okay, we got to sacrifice either Hachimura or Austin Reeves, but we could bring in Kyrie Irving? I think Pelinka did a tremendous job identifying and acquiring Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, among others, but especially those two guys who are restricted free agents right now. Those are the kind of guys you would see in a Heat playoff run or a Spurs playoff run back in the day where you go, how does this franchise come up with these guys, right? They're just good. And so I get wanting to hold on to them. But here's the question. Would Lakers fans, you're a Lakers fan, Key, would you rather have all of your young pieces, right? Malik Beasley has a $16.5 million club option, or Kyrie? Would you rather keep these guys and add a nice little player to them or two, let's say, or get Kyrie, even if it means losing at least a couple of these guys? Which would you rather?
I probably would rather hold on to Rui and Austin and finding two other pieces, because the way that I look at it, you got a 38-year-old LeBron James who's been in and out of the lineup over the last couple of years, correct? Mm-hmm. You got an Anthony Davis who's a little older, who's been in and out of the lineup here over the last couple of years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest.
You can't help yourself.
I mean, but it's true. He doesn't play a lot. 60 games for AD is a full season.
But so when I look at that, and I add a Kyrie, and I strip the team of something, I got to look at the what ifs. What if one or two of those guys come up with something over the course of the season? Now all we left with is a Kyrie. So if you at least have those pieces in play and a guy or two that can still go, that gives you, an all-star borderline type guy that can play. And you got those two, because when you look at Denver, for instance, let's just use that as a measuring stick. They're better. Denver's entire group of five is better than two banged-up players in 38-year LeBron James, in an AD, in a Kyrie, and nothing else around them. They're better than them.
Well, here's the thing. I know when you start saying, look, there's a risk factor, LeBron's age, AD in and out of the lineup, and now Kyrie, who has not been reliably present on teams for a variety of reasons, on and off the court. I mean, that's a fact. Like, just
I
you can
know
look
it
at the
is,
number
Max,
of games
but
played.
I hate getting into that because there's context behind it.
I understand. I said for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, but we even though you say a variety of reasons, we tend to gloss over what that context is.
But the question about that stuff, Key, for me, is not what the reason was so much as does it indicate something going forward about whether or not you can expect them to play full seasons? In AD's case, the injury history says no, he's going to miss some time. LeBron's case, his age, as he's aged, the injuries have gone up, so you can expect him again. And Kyrie's case, the variety of reasons tells me there is a good chance that for whatever reason, he's not going to play a full season.
Let's not have those reasons in our country, and we won't have to worry about it.
Yeah, but sometimes it's been injury, or sometimes it's been something else, right? Like, okay, my point is this. I think that you make a good point if that's a larger point, and so you lack depth. You want to keep the depth.
Yeah,
man, AD, Kyrie, and LeBron on the court together, Key, that's a lot.
No, it's cute. Oof. It is, but it also reminds me, and people can say whatever they want to say about Westbrook, right? Oh, Westbrook, LeBron, and AD.
Shoot.
That's a lot. Yeah, well, you're looking at the names. Right? We are looking at the names AD, LeBron, and Kyrie. But you also got to put in the context the what if. What if AD gets a hangnail? Oh, he's gone for 6 weeks. What if LeBron happens to tweak an ankle or his knee or the fatigue sets in? It's a lot.
That's actually a reason for me to get another superstar. And the big difference with Kyrie and Westbrook is
no. I'm not comparing their styles or anything. I'm just saying the brand, the name. Everybody's looking for the big three.
But that's right. But in this case, the reason Westbrook didn't work out primarily to me is he can't shoot. And so it's just style it. When you have LeBron, AD, and Westbrook, you need two lights-out shooters, and even then you probably can't play them all together. Kyrie's game seems theoretically to work perfectly with LeBron and AD.
There's no question his game is different and it works with them. Kyrie's not enough to get over the Denvers. I'm assuming Golden State's going to run it back with whatever.
What if you could keep Austin Reeves or Hachimura and get Kyrie?
I'll keep Austin Reeves.
Right, me too. Yeah. And keep Kyrie and get Kyrie. Would you rather do that or add a?
If I could do that, yeah.
Okay, because D'Angelo Russell's got to go.
That's not what was posed to me to begin with.
D'Angelo Russell's got to go. Agreed. He was unplayable that whole series. Yeah, couldn't shoot, couldn't hit shots, and couldn't defend.
He is a unreliable at times individual on the court for the Lakers.
Yeah, you know what those times are? The playoffs. All right.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.